Hello. Okay, I hope that you can hear me well. Mm. So let us begin by taking a deep breath into the body. This is all about connection. This is called Manifestation Monday. You cannot manifest. You always manifest. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. But you are very unlikely to manifest that which you want if you're coming from this place of, I'm in survival mode, I'm in fight or flight or freeze. And just let us come out of that and just take a moment for yourself. Take a moment to breathe as you're inhaling into the belly, into the chest, into the nose. Exhaling out, letting it go. And again, into the belly, into the chest, into the nose. So you're exhaling out, letting it go. Just allowing yourself to be here. Allowing yourself to take this moment for you. So look, all of us have really busy lives, right? Some more than others, some less than others. But the general, I want to say, trend is to look outwards, to look for outer validation, to see satisfaction from outside of us. But really, everything is available right now, and the power is in taking the time for that breath and giving yourself this time as you're receiving this gift as well. So it's this giving and receiving happening simultaneously, and most people don't take the time to do that. And this is why most people are in this fight or flight place, and in this place of, why is it never enough? Why am I not happy? Why is it that I seemingly am so productive and do so many things, but I feel so empty on the inside? Or why is it that I have all these, visions of things that I want to create and goals and targets, but I can't get myself to move towards any of them? So the power of breath, understanding that your breath right now, it's real. The stories of the past are not. The projections of the future, they're not. But your body's real right now. The power of, I had a lot of clients who experience physical pain, and the power of working with a physical sensation. And for me, at some point, I had migraines, and there came a point where I loved that. Yes, I absolutely hated that. But then came this realization of what a gift it was to experience that migraine that I get to be so present with and so loving towards. And there came the turning point. That was my last big headache that I've ever had. In this moment, this energy that's coming through in form of, what do I have to offer it? Do I have to offer it my rejection and my judgment of, this sucks, I don't want to experience this isn't good enough, I wish it wasn't here? Or can I offer my presence? Can I offer my love? Can I offer my curiosity? Why are you here? What are you here to show me? Are you here to be fully with me? And actually, as ridiculous as this may sound, when I was going through this experience and I just became so present with that headache, with that pain, that it dissolved. And as it did, I just had tears running down my face of, why did it leave me? That it was such a beautiful present moment. I'm actually tearing up right now as I'm just remembering that. It was a beautiful moment of connection when you're one with that energy, which seemingly at the beginning, it's like, well, this is bad. It's not something I want to experience. And then you really understand the depth of it, that the cure for the pain is in the pain, that it is only when we are able to move out of this label of, this isn't good, this sucks, I'm rejecting this person's annoying, this person is angry, they're judgmental, they're this and that, and we're actually willing to see that the point of that namaste, the light in me sees the light in you, and we're able to summon that within another person, within a situation, within the pain, within our own body. We're able to go to the root of that energy and really see God, life, source, consciousness, universe in that energy. That is transformational. And that is really, that's why I had those tears, because I touched that, I got to that, and then it went away because the pain went away. It just wanted to be witnessed, and then it dissolved. So let us move into the question that I received. And it was really about manifestation, that somebody asked, well, okay, so this is the eclipse season and we have new moon, and check out that video if you haven't, where I talk about that we just entered the eclipse season. We just, the time between the two eclipses, we had a solar eclipse and we're going to have a lunar eclipse next week. A lot of things coming up right now. A lot of energies are looking to be released. This is not a time to try to manifest something, in the sense that to try to set intentions and goals and targets. This is more of a place of, okay, let's see what wants to be released. let's just take inventory of what we have so far, what's working and what isn't, and we're just creating that foundation. So it's a good time for that. This is very contradicting because we do have that new moon energy that was pushing us forward, like, but I want to create and I want to do this. And it's actually like, no, you're not in a place of mind of doing any of that. And somebody asked me, so right now is not a time to manifest. And my reply was, well, you can't really not manifest. It's like saying, well, right now is not a good time to breathe. It's like, try that. Let's see what happens. That you're just automatically, you can hold your breath, but your body will have a reaction of just breathing again. It's the same with manifestations. It's not something that you can actually stop. Because you're thinking all the time, you're feeling something all the time. Even I've been in that place of, severe depression where you feel like you're just numb to life. But even there, it's like, I just don't have any thoughts and I'm just blank and I'm just so numb. Even there, there's a frequency coming from you. Your energy field, your energetic field, it's still putting out that frequency. So you can't not manifest. It's something you're doing naturally. The question is, what is it that you're manifesting? So if we're there in this place of being very emotional, being very chaotic, not clear, going, it's like this and this and that, and just lack of clarity. And we're trying to manifest, we're at the same time, while we're in the state, we're going to a particular goal. You're not only not going to manifest that goal, you're just going to be all over the place and it's going to be a big mess because the energy you're putting out, it's not consistent. There's no focus. So therefore, again, you're always manifesting. It's just about what do you want to manifest and how successful do you want to be at that. So if you want to manifest chaos, you'll be pretty good at doing that. That's probably not what you want though. So I strongly recommend for you guys to just ground, center, connect during this time, really asking yourself what is looking to be released. And honestly, during these 2 weeks, you don't even have to look for opportunities because a lot of people go into childhood, like inner child work. That's always needed. But in the sense of like past life regressions or inner child work in like regressional work, you don't have to be looking for those traumas. You don't have to look. It's like, okay, I have to sit down. What else is wrong with me, right? It's like, what else needs to be released? Just live your life from the present moment. Connect to the earth, be grounded, connect to your body. You're going to have these opportunities in your life. Maybe there might be an ex coming back into your life, or there may be situations that remind you of something that you went through as a child or as a teenager, maybe your past relationships or dynamics of any kind. And you may just be more aware of those repetitive patterns. So this is what I would invite you to during this time of just, okay, how does this situation remind me of what I've already experienced? And where is it that I want to show up differently? Where is that authentic, empowered version of me? Like, what would that version of me do? I was actually just, as I'm speaking, I'm like, oh yeah, like it makes sense during this time. I had to clear up a lot of space because as I actually shared on this channel, Udita and I are relaunching our Connected and Confident Woman course. And I had to send her a lot of files, a lot of content, and I had no space on my drive. And I had to clear a lot of things off, and it ended up going way back of like pictures from 10 years ago. And I could really feel the energy of the me that I was 10 years ago. No spiritual work, even though I came from that background, but that's something I rejected since the age of 10. I was just not into any of these esoteric teachings or spirituality or any of it. And just living my life, and just the energy of that person who I was, and my energy now, just like neutrally looking at a photo. And you can really see the shift. And my question to you is something that I shared on my Instagram today. Are you living your best life in the sense that when you look at yourself neutrally, right? When you look in the mirror, understanding who is the person that's looking back. Are you proud of this person? Is this a person that you're looking up to? Is this a person that you respect? They're like, yes, this is my idol. I know that for me, the person from 10 years ago definitely was not it. And honestly, I'm looking at those pictures and reading that energy of that woman from 10 years ago, and just so many things are not in alignment. And I just, it's like she's miserable and she doesn't even know it. And she's pretending everything's fine and kind of keeping it all together. But that's not her truth. And right now, seeing where I am now and just all the authenticity and the vulnerability really that came through, and not even vulnerability, that vulnerability is allowing that you're open to life, that you're not afraid anymore, that you know nothing can hurt you because you are all of life. So getting to this point and understanding that it is possible for you, whether you're here live or watching the replay, or just hearing these words that you deserve to be in that place of, I'm the person that I admire the most in my life. As children, or maybe, I mean, we still have role models. I mean, sure, if you look, maybe some athletes who've achieved great things, or some leaders, it's like, I look up to this person, I want to be like them. But it's really about, am I living up to the best version that I know I can be? It's like, I want to be like the best version of me. I want to be the person who's honest, who's loving, who shows up with integrity. And is that you right now? And if it is, great, and how can you embody more of that? And if it isn't, great, because that self-assessment is necessary. I was just like, actually, I'm not living to my own standards, right? Like, so many of us, we go into, I want people to be honest. I want people to be authentic. I want people to, like, just, why are you making such a big deal about it? Can you just tell me honestly what's coming up? And it's so easy to point the finger, but how often do we do that? How often do we shut down and not speak our truth and cover up what's really going on because we're afraid to be vulnerable, because we're afraid to be hurt? And we're in that exact situation that we don't want to experience from others. Why can't you just be honest? Why can't you just say it like it is? How often are you doing that and living up to the standards that you are setting for other people? And here's the power of that. And I actually just did a live workshop last Friday on this. There were the three keys to freedom. And one of the keys was that in order to allow freedom to yourself, in order to feel truly free, you have to allow freedom to others. So when you're judging others, you can't, whatever you say about others is what your mind is telling you. When you say, for example, this person's too loud, there's a part of you that's not allowing you to express your voice, to speak what you truly think or feel. When we criticize others for wealth, for example, that's a huge one with the money block, right? It's like, I want to be wealthy, I want to welcome in money. At the same time, when we see that in others, oh, well, those people, like the wealthy people, they're snobby, or they're bad people, or so we what we judge in others is actually what we really want sometimes as well. And it can show up in so many different ways, but just understanding that for you to be free, it's working with that inner critic who's judging others, who's criticizing situations, circumstances, and who really is criticizing yourself. As you begin to notice those patterns, and I strongly, strongly, strongly recommend to write this down. Okay, first of all, a different part of your brain is active when you write things down, but also you're there. Your mind can't say, oh, well, I didn't mean that, or I didn't say that, because you have it written. That's one of the things that helped me so much when I was getting out of depression, just really getting it on paper. First of all, that energy is just moving through your body and onto something physical. You can see it. And like I said, you can really talk back to that inner critic. Because once you begin to do that inner work, you understand that the arguments that your mind uses, they're contradicting each other. It's going to use the opposite argument. It's like, well, this is white. And then when you need the other side of it, oh, well, now it's black. It's like, but didn't you just say it's white? No, I didn't mean that. This is why it's so important to write it down, to really see how catch how your mind is thinking. This is when you can beat it. This is when you can get out of it. So criticism and judgment, understanding, catching yourself that, what is it? Why am I criticizing this person? Why do I like or not like these things? And this is just as important to do about the things that you do like, by the way, because a lot of our things, like the things that come up in our lives, are subconscious. Why are you attracted to this kind of person, not another? Because it reminds you of mom and dad, or an early caregiver, somebody that you liked early on, that you had attachment to. And seemingly, but I like these things about this person. That's just as dangerous, because you're falling into that trap of just living subconsciously, of that inner critic going into what is comfortable, what is familiar, rather than asking, wait, what do I really want? So getting really conscious, not of just the bad things and the rejections, and like, I don't like this about this person. Why do I like this? And oftentimes they may be things that the reasons we're drawn to people. It's not because they're nice people. For example, it may just be because they're familiar. Because, oh, that's what my mom or dad used to be like, or that's what my dad liked about people. So that's what I'm looking for in people. But actually, it's not a good quality that I want to have. Like, I don't want people with that quality around me. So getting really precise, I want to say, with this, because if you want to take control of your life, and this isn't for everybody, because for some people they might listen, it's like, that's a lot of work, and it is, but the question here is, do you want freedom? Do you want to live from those subconscious patterns of, I'm just a program running, like whatever was programmed into my mind by my environment, and that's my limit. I can't be as happier than my parents were because that was their limit, or I can't have the amount of wealth or success because that's what I grew up my limit being. If you want to move beyond that, then that's what it takes. It takes writing it down. It takes being critical of your inner critic. It takes not trusting your mind and consciously asking, living intentionally, what is it that you want to create? First of all, why are you creating what you're creating? And then what do you want to create? What do you want to manifest? Because this is Manifestation Monday. So becoming really aware of that. The reason I brought this up with that in regards to that question of, okay, so right now is not a good time to manifesting. You're always manifesting. Just right now for the next 2 weeks, well, week now until the lunar eclipse next week, it's an opportunity to slow down and really ask yourself, why is this happening? Why do I like the things I like? Why do I dislike the things that I do like? And what do I actually want to create intentionally, and why? Right? Like I said, a lot of the goals and targets that we think we want, we don't actually want them. We were just taught to want them, right? I know for me, that was definitely kind of the getting married, having kids, like that was just like, okay, well, that's what you're supposed to do. And I mean, there were different paths, but there was some point that I just decided this is what I want. But actually going back, I'm like, I'm not sure if this is what I wanted the whole time, or, like what success looks like. It's like, I'm not sure this is my definition of success, but you're really going to believe that it is just based on your programming. So it's really important. And it's powerful to just take this time to write that down. What is coming up for your mind authentically? Like, why do I want what I want? And what is it that I really want to create? Now, it's been 20 minutes. I do want to quickly address the second question that came up with one of the videos, because this one is so close to heart. It was about sensitivity. Somebody commented that, well, I'm too sensitive. And I kind of replied to that, but I want to, and I'm going to maybe make a particular video on this topic just to hone in on that. All of the judgments that we have about ourselves is like, I'm too vulnerable. I have these emotions that are coming up. And look, this is from somebody who was like in her shadow masculine the whole time. From 13, I just shut off my feminine energy, and emotions were not okay, and they're messy, and like, can we just be focused and goal and solution oriented, and we're not going into emotions. So I get that. I absolutely get that. And being on the other side, I can tell you that your vulnerability is your power. Your sensitivity is your power. And the people that are uncomfortable with that are the people who can't embrace that within themselves. The problem is that we're learning to see by the blind. It's people who have no idea what is out there. And we are born into this world being able to see everything. But because we are raised by the blind, we start to become blind ourselves. We start to reject the things that we see around us because they don't seem real, because nobody else sees them. So we see vulnerability as our power. A baby, they're upset, they're gonna show you that they're upset. Okay, they're happy, they're gonna show you that they're happy. They're angry, they're gonna have a freaking tantrum. And here's the power of that. As a child, right? That anger, and in Chinese medicine, it takes a few seconds to move through your body. Okay, the child will have that anger tantrum. They're done, like nothing happened. They don't know what they were angry about. That energy moved through their body. It's done. But adults, because we're not comfortable with our emotion, and we have this big outburst, whether it's anger, whether it's hurt, whether it's pain, whether it's sadness, and it's like roar, and we're like, no, here's a drop of it, here's another drop of it, and then it gets to the point where that energy solidifies in the body. So that sensitivity is your superpower. That sensitivity is that just that energy moving. And when we judge these things as I'm too sensitive, I'm too emotional, I'm too explosive, you're not explosive enough. You're not sensitive enough, you're not emotional enough, because actually if we embrace that about ourselves, if we accept that radically, if we allow that energy to move through us, it's gone. As a child experiencing a tantrum, but it's because we hold on to it and we don't let it out. We're afraid to be judged. And I've addressed this many times, but I want to emphasize this here again. You're not afraid of other people rejecting you. You're afraid of you rejecting you. You're afraid of believing their story about you and rejecting yourself. So, can you please stop doing that to yourself whenever there's that I'm too sensitive, I'm too emotional? You're available. And can you embrace that about yourself? Can you love that about yourself? Can you welcome more of that in? So I did want to just briefly mention this for the person who commented on that, because I know what it's like to be in that place of repressing your emotions. And I know that that is not your power, does not come from that. Is that mind, that just that illusion of this is how I'm strong because I have those walls and I feel really good about myself. You don't. That's not where your real power is. Your real power is not being afraid of being vulnerable, because you're you. You're authentic. Other people have no power over you, because no matter what they think or say or do, it has nothing to do with you. And you're responsible for you, and you maintain that center within you. That is power. But for us to get there, it requires being vulnerable. It requires accepting and loving ourselves unconditionally. And that is a great end to this live, to this video. So I invite you to take a deep breath again into your body, remembering that your body is the anchor into the present moment, rooting, grounding. At the very least, just give your nervous system a break with just the deepest breath you've taken all day, opening up those shoulders, straightening the spine. Let's do it again with a sigh, like audible sigh. All is well, and I'm wishing you a powerful day.